Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, Ghana's interest rates overtake Egypt as highest among 15 top African countries. Also coming up, Finance Minister appeals for continuous sacrifice as he admits government is facing liquidity challenges. Plus, the Finance Minister expected to present a major media budget review on the 27th of this month to Parliament. Details coming up. Thanks for being with us. My name is Darryl Kwao. First up, interest rates in Ghana overtook that of Egypt to become the highest among 15 top African countries. According to the weekly fixed income update compiled by some investment firms, the rates of about 24 and 26% for the 91-day and 182-day treasury bills were the highest among these top African economies. There is more in this report.
Despite the rate falling significantly in March this year due to the domestic debt exchange program, they have gone up consistently to almost 30% for the 364 days since then and are even classified among the highest globally. Again, average lending rate hovering around 38% ranks Ghana among the highest on the continent. Interest rates are expected to rise further in the coming week as government seeks more liquidity to finance its projects. This is coming on the back of competitive yields on the Bank of Ghana's open marketing operations bills. Indeed, the relentless pace of inflation has stretched real returns on short-term securities further down into negative territory. So if you have bought treasury bills in recent times, the return on your investment is negative. Finally, it's unclear whether the Bank of Ghana will increase the monetary policy rate from the current 29.5% to help mop up excess liquidity in circulation to control inflation, though some analysts have argued that any such move may affect the real sector of the economy.
That was a business desk report. Now, the Ghana Association of Savings and Loans Companies has said that the issues of non-performing loans and high interest rates among its members will be heavily discussed at its annual general meeting, which begins today. Now, the issue came to the fore after the Bank of Ghana cautioned savings and loans companies to reverse the trend to avoid financial risks. Speaking to Joy Business, Executive Secretary of the Association, Trinibua Kodja said the macroeconomic environment could be partially blamed for the high interest rates and increasing bad debts.
We must also appreciate that it doesn't happen in a vacuum. Where you have rising inflation, the economy is not doing well, your country risk is high, and also T-bill rates are very high. Your investors and your depositors will always look for a higher interest on your loan, on the loans they will give to you or the deposits they will place with you. We also have seen that the legal system, we also need to look at it so that these default loans, we can fully deal with it. And this is where we have been calling for a special court to handle the issue of default or recovery.
That was Executive Secretary of the Ghana Association of Savings and Loans Companies, Trinibua Kodja speaking to Joy Business ahead of the association's annual general meeting today. Now, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is appealing to bondholders to continue with their sacrifice as government is making efforts to clear all outstanding debt instruments. According to him, confidence in the economy is coming back despite the challenges with liquidity, hence the need for some patience. The minister was reacting to the move by the individual bondholders to suspend plans to picket the Finance Ministry after some payment orders were issued. Here's a report.
Speaking on the coupon payment for bondholders, Mr. Ofori-Atta called for more sacrifice since liquidity has become a challenge for the government.
I think really, it's been a very difficult period. As you know, July last year, as a country, we're really unsure of the direction that we're going to be going. Clearly, we all worked very hard, and by May 17th, we had received the fund approval. But there's going to be continuing sacrifices because liquidity is a problem. And we must, as a nation, as I mentioned, begin to understand and speak one language in this period in which we are trying to rebuild to get back into sort of stability. As you can see, there's quite a bit of confidence coming in.
Meanwhile, the leadership of the various bondholder groups and government are expected to issue a communique on payment terms for subsequent matured coupons.
Technical people are meeting, and so far far, the Lord has been helpful in that. And I think all of us as Ghanaians need to appreciate that these are not normal times. But with where we were last July and where we are today, clearly we should have hope and excitement for the future.
Meantime, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is expected to present the media review of budget estimates on Thursday, July 27. This is what Joy Business has picked up from persons working on the presentation. But will there be a supplementary budget, and what will be the focus of this presentation? Here's George Afi with details.
The date, according to these persons that are working on the media review of estimates, maintain that it could still change at the last minute. This is because this is subject to developments in Parliament. This is despite the fact that the July 27 date has been agreed between the Ministry of Finance and the leadership of Parliament. The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, is expected to use the presentation to review some of the macroeconomic targets that are set out in the 2023 budget. Some analysts have argued that due to the current challenges facing the economy, it will be difficult to meet the targets set out in last year's budget. Hence, this review. One can also say that with Ghana securing an IMF program after the 2023 budget was presented, there might be the need to review some of the programs that was outlined in the budget. However, one is not sure whether the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, may introduce a supplementary budget. The country's Financial Management Act requires the Finance Minister not later than July 31 of each year to come to Parliament for a media review, which should also include an update of revenue performance as well as expenditure for the first half of this year. There are also some instances where there could be reallocation of funds to other sectors of the economy that should be approved by Parliament.
George Afi with that report. Ghana's forex market is expected to be strengthened further following decision by bulk oil distributors to engage government to resume participation in the Gold for Oil program. According to the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana, already the market is fairly stable. Therefore, if the distributors fully participate in the program, that could sustain the impressive performance on the forex market. Duncan Amwa is Executive Secretary of COPEC and has been speaking to Joy Business.
One of the IMF conditionalities we cited was asking that BOG should stop that practice, and we think that if BOG is indeed forced to stop, then you're simply pushing the BDCs to now resort to open market, and that will mean that quoting way higher value for the forex, which comes into computation for fuel price eventually. Well, I do think that the market generally is doing quite well, is robust at this point. If we do not unnecessarily overburden any segment of the market, I don't see how we get into any problem over the next couple of months.
Executive Secretary of COPEC, Duncan Amwa. Let's turn to the currency market for you this morning. The dollar going for 11 cedis 73 pesos on the forex or retail market. The pound going for 14 cedis 10 pesos. The euro going for 13 cedis as well. Now, let's turn to other stories. The government has been urged to support the training of biomedical engineers to develop quality medical equipment and devices for the country. This is expected to boost the health economy and consequently GDP growth. Now, Chief Executive Officer of ADB Medical Systems, Benjamin Diaz-Adan, says his company's aim is to deliver high-quality medical equipment and healthcare solutions to customers. He spoke to Joy Business after a 3-day training for biomedical engineers.
What we're doing now today is about training that we organize for biomedical engineers across the country. What we do is that we are specialized in delivery of quality medical equipment, and we source from top-class manufacturers, and we are into hospital construction as well. So when these equipments are in, we partner the various health facilities across the country. What we do is that we bring in the biomedical engineers from the various regions and from the districts across the country. So we bring the manufacturer to provide training about the futures of this equipment to them.
Benjamin Diaz-Adan is CEO of ADB Medical Systems. Now, government is on a quest to boost its tourism earnings. The tourism sector projects $3.4 billion as revenue this year, setting a target of 1.2 million for inbound visitors. Travel and tour operators are critical in meeting this target. In our final episode, tracking the